You know, at these Tea Party rallies, the flag of the rallies has really been the Don't Tread on Me flag. Not only the United States of America flag, but that Don't Tread on Me flag. And if you don't know the story of that flag, that rattlesnake, our American soldiers, before we ever had our stars and stripes, our American soldiers in the Revolutionary War fought under that flag, that rattlesnake, that Don't Tread on Me flag. And the cause, back during the American Revolution, they called it the cause. That's what they called it. And the cause was liberty. And it's true. We are under assault. We have politicians in D.C. We have radicals in places like Berkeley, California, and Cambridge, Massachusetts, that are really dedicated to socialism, are dedicated to the government controlling our lives, dedicated to taking away our liberty. And we all need to dedicate ourselves to the cause of liberty. Tonight, because of the fiasco, which is Obamacare, our focus tonight is on health care. Now, there's so much we could focus on. Cap and trade. This cap and trade legislation is a disaster for our economy. 4 million American jobs would be killed, would be crushed, taken away by cap and trade. Our standard of living would go down. It's a huge, enormous indirect tax on every single American. And don't ever let the Democrats tell you that they care about poor, or just forget poor, just regular American working people. Don't ever let them tell you they care, because to even propose, to even support a bill like that means they don't care about those of us who are out here working for a living, building our economy, raising our families every day. So we're going to have to do everything we can this fall to oppose that. It was passed in the House. It's going to be up for the Senate. And the Democrats, the liberals, the socialists, they're going to push that thing. We're going to have to oppose that with everything we have this fall. But tonight I want to focus more on medical care. Obama and the Democrats are trying to do so many bad things to us, it's hard to even focus. There's so many things. But medical care. Now we all know this. The Canadians who come down from Ottawa and Toronto and Quebec and come to Buffalo and Seattle and all these and Pittsburgh, all these American cities, they all know we have the best medical care in the world. The Saudi Arabian princes, who when they need treatment, where do they come? They come to America. Why? Because they know we have the best medical care in the world. So we know we have the best medical care in the world. But we do have problems. We know we have problems. Too many hospital-borne infections. How many people here know someone who got a hospital-borne infection? That's a quality problem. Too much poor service. When I have a relative, my dad was in the hospital with colon cancer last year. We watched him like a hawk in the hospital. Why? Because you have to do that in the hospital. Because the quality of care isn't always up to snuff. Health records are often lost. How many times do people come in with paper records and the orderly or the nurse who comes into the doctor, they're trying to find the records from the previous person? They can't keep their records straight. Records are lost. Government health insurance plans, Medicare and Medicaid, increasingly are limiting the availability of doctors and nurses by reducing their reimbursements to those doctors and nurses. They're already rationing your care, ladies and gentlemen. They're already doing it to you. We know we have problems. The cost, despite the rationing, the cost of Medicare increased 25% last year. The cost of Medicaid increased 11% last year. These are hard facts. You know, the thing about facts is they don't go away. And the great thing about being a conservative is we don't just have to argue from emotion. We don't have to argue from fantasy stories and idealism. We just have to argue from the facts. So we have problems in our medical system. The medical care, our private insurance, all the private insurance plans we're on, our plans, despite all the taxes we pay, subsidize the public plans. So we have problems. But what is President Obama and the Democrats and the socialists and the radical left, what is their answer to every problem? You know, isn't it great to talk to intelligent people who know the answers? You know, it's more, government is the answer to everything. And when has the government been the solution to anything? Never. Never. So more government, that's their solution to everything. But tonight, I want to talk about another problem. I'm going to come back to medical care in a minute, but I want to talk about President Obama himself and his leadership ability, or lack thereof. President President Obama, last month in Virginia, speaking to a group of supporters, said the following thing. He said, quote, "We've got some work to do. I don't mind being responsible. I expect to be held responsible for these issues because I'm the president." That's what he said. "But I don't want the folks who created the mess to do a lot of talking. I want them to get out of the way so we can clean up the mess. I don't mind cleaning up after them, but I don't want them to do a lot of talking." He doesn't want you or me or any of the rest of us to do a lot of talking. And he blames us for a mess they created. Did the regular middle-class Americans who attended tonight's Tea Party create the economic mess? No, we didn't create the mess. The mess was created by an overly lax monetary policy. The Fed had way too lax a monetary policy, with subprime mortgages forced on banks by the liberal Community Reinvestment Act, and packaged and sold by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the government-sponsored entities which were backed by Barney Frank, Maxine Waters, and a cadre of other liberals and socialists. Second, now this statement by Obama's got so many problems. The second is that he denies our right to petition. We have a right to be here. We have a right to petition. We have an obligation to petition our government. And it's the president's job to listen to us and respect us. But there's a third. The third biggest problem with Barack Obama's comments, all his comments, tonight's speech, is his leadership itself. He doesn't tell us the truth. One day he says there'll be no earmarks in his spending bill. The next week, how many earmarks were there? 9,000 earmarks. That's a lie. That's called a lie. Another day, President Obama tells us that he's only met Rod Blagojevich one time. He only met Rod Blagojevich one time, and it was at a Chicago Bears football game, and they saw each other across the crowd and waved. That's what Barack Obama told us, the American people. Of course, a couple days later, there's hundreds of pictures on the internet with him meeting with Rod Blagojevich many, many times. And by the way, how can the governor of a state not know the senator from the state? Right? It's just a lie. In various campaigns over many years, Barack Obama tells the world that he supports single-payer government healthcare system for the United States. Go on YouTube. He said it over and over and over. He supports a single-payer government healthcare plan. He then makes health reform the most important thing on his agenda and pushes a bill that will force America into a single-payer system within 5 years. Now, a lot of his people, they want to deny that the intention of H.R. 3200, the House bill, is to create a single-payer government-run health plan like Canada or Britain or Germany or Italy or France. The liberals try to deny that, but it's obfuscation. One of their own supporters, a professor at Yale University, looked at the bill and said, quote, "It's not even a Trojan horse. Single-payer, it's right there. It's right there in the language." Then in August, the president tried, just last month, he tried to distance himself from single-payer. He tried to distance himself from a government-paid plan for all of us. And then what happened? He came right back and said he supported it. Tonight, he's going to tell the American people he's going to support a big government-backed plan. So what's the problem here? He's been in office 8 months, and even while he beats his chest about being the president, it's clear that he does not know where the truth ends and where his lies begin. Our president is not a man we can trust.